today's video, we're gonna look at different lighting setups you can create using just one light. Let's roll the intro. What's going on, guys? Ryan Weber here, and I want to help you guys with your lighting setup today. So a lot of you guys are getting started with video, or you only have access to just one light, and that's what we're gonna look at. We're gonna create multiple different looks using just one video light. I'm gonna use two lights today to show you the differences between two different types of light. I'm gonna use an Aperture 120D with a softbox on it, and I'm also gonna use an LED panel that's a lot cheaper option, but it's something that you can use if you're getting started. So let's just jump right into what these lighting setups will look like, how you can use them, and what you need to do to create this look. All right, so this is setup number one. This is called Rembrandt lighting. The way you set this lighting up is you go at a 45-degree angle from your subject and also a 45-degree angle down. And so it's called Rembrandt lighting because the painter Rembrandt, whenever he painted his subjects, he always had a small triangle on the opposite side of the face. And so this just creates a little bit of depth. So you're bright on one side, you've got shadows on the other side. It's very dramatic, it looks very cinematic, and so it's just a visually pleasing image for someone to use in some sort of talking head video. This is my go-to lighting setup. Almost every single video I'm shooting, unless we're doing something a little more stylized or there's a need for something different. But this is my go-to shooting style, Rembrandt lighting with the softbox. So here's trying to mimic the same look with the Rembrandt lighting with an LED panel. It's typically a little harsher because there's no diffusion on it. So always whenever you're doing this lighting, you want to have it as diffused as possible. And so this being a cheaper light setup, it's not going to have as diffused light. So, you can see it's a little harsher, a little brighter, doesn't look quite as pleasing, but you still can achieve the same image for much cheaper than, spending a couple $100s. So the next type of lighting we're gonna use is called flat lighting or straight on lighting. It's not quite straight on just because of having a camera, you can see it. Where is it? Over here, it's just in the corner of the camera. But this flat lighting kind of mimics like a ring light. And so what it does, it flattens everything out. It kind of takes away the dimension. It's used a lot in like beauty shots. Older people like to do it to try and get rid of some wrinkles. I don't like it because I think it looks very boring. It kind of gives you this halo effect. It's not a very pleasing image to watch for a long period of time. If you're trying to show something off on the face because you're doing makeup or something to that effect, yeah, it can be used like that. But when you're trying to do a long period shoot, it just kind of isn't interesting enough. So I don't really like using this, but a lot of women prefer this type of shot. And now here's what that flat lighting looks with the LED panel. Once again, you can't really mimic as well of that kind of ring light effect because it is an LED panel, it's not circular. And once again, it's a little harsher. Now this is terrible for somebody to look into, like I'm literally looking into the light. So it's not fun for me to record and it's really not that great for someone to look at, but it is an option if you're doing, like I said, makeup tutorials or really trying to get a close-up of the face. It could make people feel a little more comfortable. Now this next style light I like a little bit better than that beauty effect light that we just showed. This is more of a top down. So we've got the light at a 45-degree angle. It's called a butterfly light. So you've got like a little bit of shadow. You can't see because I got a mustache, but right under here you get a little bit of shadow and you get a little bit of shadow under here. So it kind of eliminates some of the wrinkles, eliminates some of like the double chin area. And so women, this is a very preferable type of look for them. And corporate type settings, this could be another good look. So 45 degrees down and you're trying to get rid of some of that older looking stuff. And once again, here's the same butterfly light setup from an LED panel. You've got it from the top down. Once again, kind of same exact setup. You're trying to get this little bit of shadow underneath the nose and also some shadow under the chin. And this is what it looks like. This is kind of like my number 2 setup. It's not my favorite, but typically for a corporate shoot, if people don't feel comfortable with how they look, this would be my go-to other than the Rembrandt light. So the next light we're gonna use is called split lighting. Typically you're gonna use this if you're doing like a motivational type of shot, or you're setting like a really serious type setting, or even a somber type setting where you've got this split light. It's almost like a good versus evil. You're also kind of setting the scene for something just more dramatic. So what it does is it splits the face in half. The light's literally 90 degrees from me, so it's set up over here. This side's obviously very bright, and then this side is completely dark. So, you know, this is kind of that look if you're trying to do, I like it for motivational speaking. I like it for telling a very dramatic type story. And so, you know, this is something I use, but it's for a very specific reason. This isn't something you just use every single shot. And once again, same exact look, but we're using the LED panel, a little harsher. You know, this can be a little more dramatic once again, but you know, I'm not a fan of the LED panel if you can get something with softbox included with it, but this is what it would look like on more of a budget setup. Here's the last look that I use sometimes, and this is more for another like very specific feel. I call it reverse Rembrandt. So I don't know if there's an actual name for it, but it's Rembrandt lighting. So 45 degrees to you, 45 degrees above, but we do it from the back instead of the front. So I'm actually lighting the back half of me, so it gives you this really sharp angle. It's very dark over on this side, so it's very dramatic, it's very moody. This could be used for something that's a story, like a very specific story to get a very specific emotion. This could also be used for like mystery, so if you're kind of leading on with this thing of I don't know what's gonna happen, this is a great type of lighting you can use. The best way to utilize this is I love having this backlight or this hair light like this and then having another key light. So I like doing like a Rembrandt with on the opposite side this hair light. But if we're using one light, you could use it like this for more of a moody, dramatic feel. And once again, same exact look, but with the LED panel. I kind of like it with the LED panel better for this shot because it's more of a harsh light. So it gives you more of that separation here on the back side. And it kind of brightens everything else up. So I actually like the LED panel on this look better, but it's not a look you would use consistently. So let me know down in the comments, which lighting setup do you prefer? Me, I'm always a Rembrandt kind of guy, and then I add lights in from there, but if I'm using just one light, I think it can look very, very nice. We can go through other setups and I'll show you how to add in more lights from there, but like I said, one light setup, try and get that LED light that's a continuous, nice looking light. Make sure you get some sort of diffusion, which is basically softening the light up so you look good, and then from there, get the setup that you like to use. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want more information, tips, tricks, tutorials on camera gear, lighting, setup, all that stuff needed for video marketing. Guys, Ryan Weber, and I will see you guys in the next video.